the 4th of July today, or at least it was like, let me see, 20 minutes ago because it's 12 a.m. Haha, you get it? um, yeah, it's it's weird because I don't know about where you're watching from or like Willie's like at my feet right now, by the way, like right in the way. But I guess he's my footstep now. Um, yeah, I can hear it right now what I'm about to talk about too, like where I'm from, and probably a lot of places too. They put fireworks like everywhere, like months, like not months, but like a whole like 30 days before. Every night in the middle of the street is just people putting fireworks, and it's not just like oh a firecracker, cool. It's like the ones that fucking shoot up in the air like a regular firework, and it doesn't really annoy me. It's just like crazy like that they start that early and they do it like in the middle of the street. Like I've been driving in like on like just like a side road and it's just blocked because someone's putting fireworks. I just go around. But like don't those shits come back down, bro? I wonder like how many fires start around this time every year. Like I saw a fire truck with the sirens on like a good like hour ago. And it went into like the side street, so it's probably from like someone starting a firework fire. Which is kinda like I don't know. I don't I don't do the fireworks. There was one time, when I was 18, I went to New Hampshire. Not for this specifically, but while I was there, I was like, oh shit, I can buy fireworks. Willie, chill, bro. Oh, he has an itch. I was like, I can buy fireworks while I'm here. And I drove to Phantom Fireworks, like the big brand. And I walked in and out and it was like, I don't know if you've been there before, but like pretend you go to like Shaw's or I don't fucking know what you have. Price Right, Stop and Shop. Pretend you go there, but it's fireworks instead of fucking like cereal boxes and like groceries and shit. And I was excited. And then I take like two steps in and this dude's like, how's it going, guys? ID, please. And I was like, fuck yeah, here you go. And I give him my ID and then he was like, you can't come in. And I said, why not? And he said, you have to be 21. And I was 18. And I was just, it makes sense, I guess. But it didn't make sense at the time because in Rhode Island, you have to be 18 to buy stuff like that. Um, but at the same time, Rhode Island doesn't sell Phantom fireworks. They sell like fucking, what would be like the low budget version of that? Phantom Ghost fireworks. They sell like the low budget version. They don't like shoot up in the air and shit. So obviously, I guess not obviously, but I guess it makes sense for it to cost less to buy firecrackers rather than buy fireworks that shoot up in the air. I don't know, bro. It was disappointing. And while I was over there, I went. I was there. Why was I there? I think I went there because I went to Maine and then I went to New Hampshire. And I like tried finding moose. I wasn't there to find moose, but I was just there. But yeah. Yeah, it's weird. 4th of July is a weird holiday. Um I don't really care about it. It's like there's a lot of holidays, bro. Like there's a holiday like every week. Um and then there's some that are just bigger than others for whatever reason. Uh but I don't know, dude. My favorite holiday would probably be like Christmas. That's like everyone's favorite. It has a good vibe to it. Like there's like it's a good era or it's a good like time period or what's a good word for that? It's a good like month. Um, everything looks good for like a couple weeks. here. Like the snow looks really nice and it's like soft and like everything looks great. And then Willie, oh my god, he's chewing the headphone wire. Um, Everything looks like pretty until like they start putting the salt and then like cars start driving over it and shit and like it rains and then next thing you know the snow is just all brown and dirty and you just go out and it's dirty and then you anywhere you go it's just wet inside and the floors turn all white and like your shoes are all dirty and your feet are cold and shit. There's like this weird thing though that I kind of ignored where um back then like I was like fuck the cold. The cold sucks. I hate it. It's stupid. But I fucking like didn't wear a jacket. Or I wear a jacket, but it was just like some like fucking cheap jacket. And it's not even that it was like cheap. It just wasn't a good jacket. It was like just like some light jacket. It wasn't even cheap. Like like when I was in Maine, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna buy a jacket. And I think I went to like um North Face or like one of those like sports stores. And everything was like too expensive for me. And I was like, nah. And then I went to Walmart and I just like got this jacket, this like really warm jacket for like I don't fucking know, $30. And I still have it and it's like the warmest jacket I have. And just from wearing that plus gloves and like pants that are warm, being outside's like fine. But the thing is, I don't want to have to do all that just to go outside. There's something nice about like right now I'm just wearing like it doesn't like I could be wearing anything and I could just walk outside. I could walk outside naked right now. Um and it's like there's like something cool about that where like there's no prep. It's you can do a lot of spontaneous plans whereas in the winter it's like where are we gonna go? Because if we don't know and we're just standing outside, we're fucked. Or if we're just sitting in the car, we're pretty much fucked too. Because the car takes like mad long to heat up, and like I don't know, like that's not even that big of a deal. But still, you don't want to be in a fucking car during like a snowstorm. Isn't that you don't even want to be parked for like 2 seconds because you might get stuck. So it's like everything has to be a bit more planned. Maybe that's good because people are planning more shit. I don't know. Everything's more active too, and like the stores feel a lot like happier because everyone's like buying each other gifts and shit. The real question is like, are you buying them a gift as like you're just kind of paying for them to like shut the fuck up and you don't even like them, or are you buying them a gift because you like want to give them a gift, or are you buying them a gift because they might buy you one? What happens to me is I'm like, oh, let me buy this person a gift. Let's just say like my mom, right? And then I'm like, fuck, then my dad needs one, right? And then in my brain, I'm like, but like, why would I give like my dad and my mom one, but not my siblings? And then it grows fucking exponentially. I'm like, why would I give my sister one, but not like this person? And it just like keeps going. And then next thing you know, I'm spending like mad money on like gifts and I'm spending like fucking hours in the store trying to like decide what everyone would want. And I don't know what they all want. The best gift is like soap. that I think that's like the best gift because everyone uses it, hopefully. Um but like soap and socks, bro. Underrated. Socks, like my shits be getting holes in them. And I don't even go outside in them. They just be getting holes. Um there's like this thing I've been speaking of socks that I've been wanting to do lately. I've changed my like approach to shit in the past like 3 years when it comes to buying. And like my whole new thing now is like buy it for life. And there's like a subreddit called r/buy it for life. And it's just about like when you buy something, it's like, are you getting it? And then like a year later, you're going to need a new one. Or 2 months later, you're going to need a new one. Or you're doing it for 6 months and then you're going to need a new one. Like, for example, when I was at Muay Thai, I bought like basic gear at first, which is great. I didn't need anything more than just like the basic, like generic shin pads and like generic gloves and shit like that. But I went every day. I went every single day for like, so 6 months in, the gloves were like disintegrating and the shin pads like it felt like I wasn't even wearing them because they were just like they only work well for like the first couple of times and then they just like wear out. So, and that's like a case where I should have just gotten like an expensive pair of gloves or like an expensive pair of shin pads so that I wouldn't have to spend the money again because I ended up having to buy more gear. And then I just have the other gear that I can't really sell because it's like super used and like some of them fell apart. But it all goes down to like really knowing yourself. It's like, am I going to be doing this? Because what is a bigger waste of money is if you're like, oh, I want to get into scuba diving and you buy like every single thing you would need and then you don't even scuba dive. Or if I was like, I'm going to buy all this podcast stuff. Are you crying with me? If I was like, I'm going to buy all this podcast stuff and then I don't even do a podcast or I do like fucking like six, like one a week for the next 6 weeks and then I just don't do it anymore. Then yeah, that would be the case where it would have been better if you just bought the basic stuff to make sure you actually wanted to do it. I guess that's the solution. It's like one of those fucking flow charts. It's like, should I buy the expensive one or the cheap one? And then it's like, do you already know you want to do this for more than a year? And if you put yeah, get the expensive one. If you put no, get it like a cheaper one. If you put like, I don't know what you would do in that case. Maybe get like when it comes to, maybe get something you can resell easily or something like that, or research it more, or rent stuff. Maybe you can rent gear for stuff. Like if I wanted to rent this setup for the amount of episodes I've done so far, I probably could have done it for like, let me think. Literally like probably like $16 every time. If you get like, if you get all of this stuff and just rent it, it's not like anything crazy. It's not like super crazy stuff. We're not renting like an RE camera. Probably for like $15 to $20 each episode. I could have done that. And that's like something you can like do. But yeah, I guess it's all about knowing yourself. But when it comes to other shit that isn't hobbies, whole different story. For example, socks. I want socks and I'm still on the hunt that I'll buy like fucking like today. And then I'm wearing them one day and I'm like on my fucking deathbed. And I'm like, I want you to have these to like my fucking grandkid. If I have a grandkid. And then I'll give him my like dusty ass sock. Because like, yeah, it's a lot more money up front, but it's just like so much better in the long run. But it does all go down to like cash flow. It's something to think about. It's like, I guess it's all on like the context of the situation. But socks, bro, that's my next big purchase. Like fucking the bougiest socks I can find. And by the way, the ones I found that I might get, I think they're called Darn Tough. So if you have experience with them, hit me up so that you can tell me to get them or not, or get a different kind. But that's the one that like was recommended in like the Buy It for Life. Apparently those shits do not go bad. Also, if they do, which they say they don't even, they have lifetime warranty. So they're like, I forgot how much they are. I think they're like, maybe like, they're from Vermont, so that's how you fucking know. But maybe like $30 socks, or maybe more. Let me check real quick. But like, I don't know. They have lifetime, so if they get like a rip, they'll send you new ones. I don't know how their business like stays alive, but they probably have it like planned out pretty well. Here they are. So the crew socks are like $20. I don't know if that's for a pack or for like one pair. That'd be fucking crazy if it was one pair. Let me see. But again, do you really want to buy fucking new socks like every, what would it be, like couple of months every year for the rest of your life? Do you want to buy new socks every year for the rest of your life? It eventually it would add up, but it's one of those things where like, what if one day you just don't have to do that anymore, and then it all pays off? Oh, here they are. $18 for, I think it's $18 for one pair, bro. That's fucking insane. But you know, I'm still considering it because I want just like the ultimate pair. You know who has the ultimate pair, low key? Sky Zone or whatever trampoline place you have. Those places be having like the craziest socks. They got like fucking grip at the bottom and shit. But yeah, that'd be cool. You gotta check these socks out, my guy. These are sick. I like the ones that like aren't too high up though, because I'm not trying to look like I'm like all jolly and shit. That wasn't a gay joke. That's not what I meant. But it reminds me of like Santa, like with his like fucking pants tucked into his socks. You can shop by activity and shit like that. That's fucking crazy. No show socks. Huh. That's cool. I'm getting distracted, but that's cool. You should definitely check that out. I'm not sponsored. If I was, I'd be wearing them right now. Willie needs shoes, speaking of socks too. This motherfucker runs like a maniac. And then the next day he's limping because he like takes like turns and turns and on a sharp turn and a sharp stop. Rosie's calling me. He takes like a sharp turn and a sharp stop, and like the next day his foot's all like, it has like little, it's like either red or has like a little cut on it because he's fucking crazy. I don't know. He runs around like a maniac. He needs shoes that don't like make him feel uncomfortable, that he can actually run with without limping and shit the next day. Let's see what she needs. Hello?
Babe,
Hi.
are you doing your podcast?
Yeah.
You
You
got
want to
home
say
safe?
something? Huh?
I wanted to make sure you had gotten home safe.
Bro, that was like 2 hours ago. If you
Yeah,
had
and then
called me now and I wasn't home yet,
I took a little nap, okay? I tried, okay? I tried.
it would have been like 2 hours
Um,
later.
well, you would have been dead, I guess. Anyways, accept the gesture. What are you talking about? Let's see if I can contribute.
You want to hear a scary story I read?
Yeah, tell me.
So this girl, she was like, she lives on the first floor of an apartment, right?
First floor.
And then one day, well, in the winter, she would keep her blinds down because the heat wasn't good and it would help keep the cold out. And
Yeah.
then in the summer, she would just leave them all open, like leave the windows like open with just a screen and leave the blinds up all day. And then one
That's
day,
scary.
yeah, first floor. That is scary. And then one day, she was like playing games, and then she like kind of hears something, not like a smash, but like a little noise, and then looks
Okay.
over, and it's some dude staring through her screen with his hands
That's scary.
pressed against the screen, and she
He's like,
screams. She
that's what
screams,
he looks like.
and he doesn't even like react.
Oh, that's scary.
She screams, and he's just there.
He's like breathing so heavily into the screen.
No, he's not breathing heavily. He just doesn't react. And then she
Okay.
says she's calling the cops, and he doesn't react. And then
Okay.
she screams, and she says she's getting her neighbor if she doesn't
Okay.
leave. And then
Okay.
he just leaves.
That I would scream, then I would like pull out my phone, take a picture, then call the cops.
That's creepy. And then
Just
so
to make
she
sure face.
she calls the cops, and there's nothing they can really do except patrol the area. And then her
Yeah.
boyfriend stays with her for a week, right?
Okay.
And he stays near the window so that anyone who passes by sees that she's like with like another person,
Yeah.
and they leave the lights on to show that they're always like awake
Yeah.
and shit like that. And then he leaves a week later.
Okay. And then he comes back.
Yeah. He leaves a week later.
Plot twist. He comes
He look
back.
she looks out the window one day, and he's there again. And this time she goes straight to the phone and calls the cops. And then the dude, when she's on the phone with the cops, just leaves. And at this point, her boyfriend moves in with her permanently until she finds a new
Yeah.
apartment. And she does. She finds an apartment in a complex with like a security guard because she's like, fuck that. Right?
And the guy lives there.
And while they're waiting for that apartment lease to start, she stays with her friend. And her boyfriend's
Okay.
like out of town. She stays with her friend. And then she has to go back to the apartment to get stuff. The guy's not there. She goes together with her friend just in case. She's scared to like even touch the windows, but she looks out the windows and the guy's not there. She goes back to her new apartment to put stuff in, opens the window and is scared to open it, and no one's there still. But then
Okay.
she sees that there was holes drilled into the screen.
Like the apartment one.
Yeah. Like like you know how, like you can't open a screen from outside the house. He drilled holes, but he didn't break in. He just drilled them. Like if he was going to break in later on.
Yeah.
So this person was
Never-
like just like a hardcore stalker, like learning her routine
Yeah. For
and like
sure.
learning like everything that she does. And then she ended up moving to like an upper floor, like
Bro,
top
I would
floor
just
in like an
like
apartment
I could
building.
have moved to a whole like other city or state if I could.
And the guy probably knows what floor she's on. He just can't like get up there now.
For sure. He definitely knows because like those stalkers, like they get this fantasy and like they like create this fantasy in their head that like they'll get a good reaction out of them, and then they don't, but they don't break, and they're like,
Yeah.
or they will break. They'll like panic and like kill them.
Yeah, no, but it seems like he was like on drugs or some shit. Either that or like I don't know what gets someone to a point where like they don't even react to the person screaming.
I don't know.
You have
It's
to be
scary.
either like on drugs to the point where you don't even react, or like
That creepy.
or you're just so creepy you like expect them to scream, and instead of
Yeah.
like being scared of being caught, you just like fucking like
Or they get off on the
you're
fact
like
that they were caught.
yeah, you like being caught, like, and you just like you're just like enjoying the moment.
Is that
It's
what you're
like
talking about? Stories?
no, I just had that one.
What were you talking about?
She's a nosy ass bitch, bro. We're not gonna talk to her anymore. But yeah, I think my next purchase is gonna be like the socks. And yeah, the podcast, um, it's fun. Sometimes it's hard getting like it's hard. It's not hard getting people on it. Like there's people who want to be on it all the time. It's hard like planning it because it's like two people are like, "Oh, I want to be on it," and then it's all like fun and games until it comes to like the actual planning. And then it's like one person's free at 8, the other person's not free until 9, and then like the other person goes to sleep at 9, and it's like, bro, um, that's pretty hard. The other thing is like knowing what to speak on. I like talking, but it's like the viewers have to enjoy the conversation too. But at the end of the day, it is just for fun, so it's not something I'm really stressing. I just want to give you an update on everything. But yeah.